How the Farmer Buried the Goblin Horde with His Lethal Shovel. I'm DMing a game of 5e on Tabletop Simulator, basically running a one-off to help some first-timers have a good look at how the game works. So, they roll a half-elf ranger, gnome bard, elf wizard, human rogue, half-orc fighter, and a tiefling sorcerer. The rogue and sorcerer are the only ones who have played before, and the group says they want a challenge. This is how my entire plan got derailed by a level 1 commoner. The party started at an inn outside of a small community. There are roughly the same number of NPCs as there are players. None of the party members have seen each other before. They take a few turns to talk and develop stories as to why they are here. I roll a d20 every turn without telling anyone why. A few turns later, I ask everyone to roll for perception. The rogue and the fighter hear odd sounds of clattering wood and muffled yelling from outside. The fighter takes the bard with him out the back door to go investigate. The rogue goes over to the side door. The half-orc and gnome simultaneously peek around the corner of the inn. They see a group of 6 well-armed goblins outside the door. The rogue opens the door, does an immediate 180, and closes it again. The elf uses his ears that can probably pick up a radio station to get a 20 on a perception check. He knows that the kitchen door and the front door also have goblins outside them, while still more are moving in the woods by the back door, and doesn't tell anyone about this. The rogue loudly announces there are goblins outside of his door. Half the inn panics and runs for all of the other doors, and promptly gets ambushed by goblins hiding outside. 3 commoners that were playing cards by the back door flip some tables over and form up for a last stand. A commoner who is sitting by the wall stands up and picks up his shovel, then proceeding to adjust his straw hat. This commoner was soon to be known as Farmer Brown, god among peasants. The tiefling strides out of the door and uses sleep. 4 out of 6 goblins pass out in the dirt. The entire party, except for the ranger, rushes outside to deal with the 2 goblins. They proceed to spend a solid 4 turns killing 2 goblins and trying to kill 4 sleeping ones. Meanwhile, all the NPCs that tried to run have been slaughtered, and the goblins are breaking down the doors. The party goes back inside, just in time for the front and back door to be broken down. The ranger gets critted and dies when she gets mobbed by 3 goblins at once. The player had already left for a sandwich and never returned, so whatever. Load her model into the cannon dice roller and fire it across the table into the Kirby we use as a trash can. We get back on track just in time to witness Farmer Brown crit a goblin with his shovel and cleave its head off as it busts through the kitchen door. The next several rounds are absolute chaos as the party abandons all forms of tactics. The wizard fails 4 firebolts in a row while running randomly around the room. He gives up on magic and charges in with a dagger. The bard stabs 1 goblin with a rapier, then tries a vicious mockery. He is surprised when I make him actually attempt an insult. "Hey, you. Yeah, you. Stop being so green." Goblin rolls a 19. The insult fails to do anything to the goblin, but offends his half-orc friend 5 feet away to his right. The dice gods don't like his jokes either, because he fails the next 2 awful insults as well. A gnome calling a goblin shorty does not make for a good insult. The rogue and the sorcerer are actually working together to disengage and bait the goblins. 3 remaining NPCs are dying in their last stand, as the sorcerer uses them for cover. The fighter charges around a few turns, before he decides to go check on the kitchen door. Farmer Brown is standing in the doorway with 2 goblins at his feet. He slaps another goblin with his shovel, taking him down hard. The fighter helps Farmer Brown kill the other 2 goblins in the kitchen. As soon as those goblins die, Farmer Brown turns and charges the 3 that killed the ranger. He drops another one with a single blow from his mighty shovel. The fighter and bard make it their active goal in life to keep Farmer Brown alive, since he is outperforming everyone else. There are a few more rounds of madness, and everyone gets hit at least once. They kill the rest of the goblins inside the inn. Every villager but Farmer Brown has died. Nobody but the fighter has more than 5 health left. The tiefling stumbles over to the side door to look out. The goblin chief shows up on a warg with his right-hand goblin. The party barricades the door. Everyone prepares spells and throwing weapons. The chief breaks down the door and everyone unleashes hell on him. The chief eats an eldritch blast, fireball, hand axe, 2 daggers, and a chair as soon as he comes in the door. Farmer Brown's perfectly thrown chair is the killing blow. The final goblin and warg charge inside. The warg knocks the fighter down to 2 health in 1 turn on a crit. The sorcerer miscasts on the warg, and we consult the 10,000 random miscasts book. Target spends the next 1d10 turns insulting its best friend. The warg speaks warg and goblin. The warg stops fighting and spends its actions insulting the goblin next to it in a series of growls and yelps. The party takes the chance to flank the warg and as a group kill it in a single turn. The fighter swings and bloodies the final goblin. Farmer Brown passes a shove check and scoops the goblin into the fireplace with his shovel. It screams in pain as it writhes around in the fireplace. Farmer Brown tips his straw hat to the crispy goblin. The party piles up the bodies outside of the tavern to do a count. 20 goblins, a warg, and a goblin chief. Everyone hits level 2 and is 60 experience from level 3. The party was supposed to get KO'd and dragged off to a camp. A freaking CR8 encounter. 6 goblins and the chief fell to the powerhouse that was Farmer Brown. Only using a 1d4 improvised weapon, shovel, and the normal NPC rules of attack nearest enemy. The party adopts him as an official member. Everyone sacrifices 180 experience points to bring him in at level 3, so he may lead them. Convert him to a level 3 berserker barbarian with tavern brawler feat. He becomes proficient with improvised weapons, mark it as proficiency, shovel. He is the official party mascot, the Barnyard Berserker, the Uneducated Undertaker, Farmer Big Bad Leroy Brown. Farmer Brown putting the smack down on everyone. Have you ever had an NPC outperform your players? Please let us know about your epic NPC moments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel All Things D&D. Our next video will be posted in 3 days, so stay tuned for more amazing Dungeons & Dragons content.